Good afternoon, people. Back out in the workshop. In fact, I was out here this morning doing a little bit of work, and I've got to say it was pleasurable. And I'm talking about specifically the use of this stop block, be that it is still the prototype or a bit of a fairly agricultural in nature, or Heath Robinson, depending how you want to word it, but it works so flaming well. So well that I want to improve it, or actually refine it. Now, being rough, you would think that you'd think that it wouldn't be able to produce the accuracies that I'm able to make it produce. Really, no rocket science in this. I got it dialed in the other day, wait for it, to within 3/100ths of a millimetre. Yay! That's pretty good. Then I moved it and proceeded to go muck it up completely by not registering where that pin was actually located in the block. In other words, I turned it with no thought to where I was turning it. Anyway, we're going to be able to counter that quite easily, and I'll briefly talk about it so you don't get too bored. But I can dial it into that sort of tolerance. In fact, I'll talk about it right now. If I can just move a few things out of the way. What I can do is get the other pin so that it makes more sense to you, or me. I can position the gauge, in this case right there, and I can make test cuts and measure the test cuts until I can get it down to 100ths, like into the very low tenths of a millimetre or less than tenths of a millimetre. Got it down to 3/100ths of a mil. So that was pretty pleasing. And that's simply by you keep on dialing in, turning the bolt until you can get that cut that you desire. Lock it off into that position with the lock nut, which is not that sophisticated. You can move it anywhere else. Now the measurement changes, but the accuracy stays the same. Move it back, whatever distance it is there in those increments, and it's still within that very fine tolerance. Put it into the position that you want. Put your blocks up against it or whatever is required, and you retain that accuracy. Turn the bolt by one revolution. It is 1 mil movement in or out, and of course fractions thereof. And that's where I went wrong. I moved it down here, went to alter the measurement a few millimetres, and I started turning it. Straight away I've lost the fidelity or the resolution that I had achieved when I'd set it up. So, in my infinite frustration, infinite wisdom, I then decided that, hey, let's put a mark on it so that it references where the bolt is relative to a full number, i.e. 1 or 2 or 3, etc. And any rotation out of the vertical would be the increment of, like in this case, straight down, it's 0.5 of a mil, either in or out, depending on the which way you turned it. So set it up, make your tolerances, get it all set up so that you're getting the accuracy that you demand. And then what I'm going to do in this case, I'm going to file a flat on the top of the bolt itself, so that now whenever I move it, I know at least by having that flat up, I can retain the accuracy down to that, as per, I've gauged it and tested it there. Now, it's not that difficult then to turn this. You can turn it as much as you want now, and just measure off the edge of your zero cut. So you've put all this in and you've plunged the saw and you've got a zero cut, and you can measure to there and you can get it accurate to the to the mill that you want. And in this case, when I was cutting my first test piece, 600 millimeters, meant that I could take it down here, push it in, into the peg hole, the bench dog hole, and this being set, I could get 600 mils. Yay. So that was good, because when I came out here and did the very first cut, and this is how I picked up that I'd mucked up, I got it down. Oh, I was so depressed. It was 600.5 of a mil. So 0.5 of a mil. I can't remember whether it was too long or too short, but I think it was too long. So it was easy enough for me to turn it half a mil, do the second cut, and it was absolutely spot on. And that's when I realised that I'd made a bit of a boo-boo, and I have to reset the for fidelity. And that's when I put the mark on it. And now, if I reset it again, as I said, I will put a file position, flat on it, so that I can use it anywhere and retain that fidelity. And it's not particularly hard to dial it in and do some test cuts, etc. Very simple. Getting to be simple is sometimes complicated or involved, and this is what we've got here. This is working really well. I can, like I've just said, get it down to that sort of tolerance. Oh, well, in that case, David, you have arrived. You don't have to do any more. Not so fast. Yes, I do. One of the things I want to do is, back a little bit. This piece was just a length that I'd had sitting up against the wall, and I thought, hey, why not use this to make a top for the miter station and see whether it works. It works so well, honestly, I'm very, very happy with it, that I want to make it not function better, but look better when it's functioning. And one of the things was I hadn't actually dressed this edge, not the way I like to have it dressed, and I could see a bit of the, just the roughness of the edge, just the roughness of the edge along there. Doesn't affect the tolerances, it's just that I'd like it a little bit better. And I noticed that when I put up some of these sides, and I put it up against it, and it's just like razor sharp. And the measurements, and it just looks so much better. So that would be a better way of having it look and function. Also means that when I have fences on the position here, they're not within a, like a mil or half a mil, they're spot on. And in this case, it is about half a mil out. Not a mil, but half a mil out. Let's get it better, I say. Dead flamin' right. I don't normally use fences along here at all. Here, yes. There, no. But when I made this and I came along, I thought, oh, that's not bad, It's I get virtually getting no wobble whatsoever. I thought, maybe, just maybe, I might start using fences. The reason I didn't normally use a fence here is because I quite often would have plates out that cover this area here for clamping and positioning purposes. But now that I've got the MFT style of top working with the miter saw, that area isn't going to require the plates that once did. I can perhaps use a fence, which itself can be used to clamp onto, if I wanted to. But with the holes, don't even need to do that. Everything's working together. Move it along, plonk the gauge in there, up there, and everything's working fine. So yeah, very, very happy with the combination of the MFT style of top, MFT top, but I'm saying style, and the fact that all of the components work together and can be pulled apart and can be stored flat and easily. So not always the case when you've made up something. Quite often it can be quite bulky. The other thing I'm looking at is the clamps that may be wanting to be used, and I'm made this up there last night, along with, one of these blocks with all the different dimensions from the centre. Again, these can be made use of via, I'm just struggling to get that out, the pins that can go anywhere along the top, so they can be turned wherever you want. Pulled out, another one put on, and this has got the camming action. Not sure whether I'm overly fussed with that. I see a lot of people doing it and they work, but this is something that I have not had experience with, and maybe I'm being a little bit overcritical, I'm not too certain, but I've made some of this up. I made this up very simply. I put an 8mm hole dead centre and one 10 mils offset, which was, I put a mark 10 mils offset. Anyway, I'll explain a bit further, shall I? So what I did was grab one of these rails that was left over from the parallel arm experiment and had it set up like that in this rail, put the block on it, and then went over to the sander and used it in this position here to cut my circle. Then I took it off, and then I could drill the 20mm hole offset to the centre hole, and therefore I've got, I'm going, oh, hang on, therefore I've got this, and it was so easy. Oh, let's make up an MFT style of top for this and this, because after all, that gets it down quickly, that finishes it off. So I'm thinking, now I have to make up, you've just got to make up a top for the sander. The top will probably be located in the mitre gauge slot here, so that's not overly difficult. And I'll make another one here. Having used this, on occasion, I wanted to have a longer table. Just makes it easier when I was using some of the parts on it. So now, having an MFT style of top, I'm going to have both the MFT style and the longer table. Seems easy enough to do. All I have to get is a piece that will go in here, because I don't think it's a standard T slot, which is or mitre slot, so which is a real pain in the butt. You would think there would be standards that you could use things, but anyway, I'll need to cut something or have something made that will go in there well, so I can locate my MFT style of plate on and work better. I could just trap it by putting pieces around the edge, which I'll probably do, but using that probably is not a bad idea. So there you go, that's where we're at with this. As I say, working very well. Still got to make some other pieces for it. I'll make several more of these up, just the fences that can bolt directly to the saw itself, and working particularly well. So go figure. Wouldn't have thought that was going to be the case, but I've used. I know that's obvious, it's like people say, oh geez, where have you been, Dave? How old are you? And no, I've already made these years ago for this saw, my old saw that I've worn out. Some of them are down there actually, and some of them behind me stored. But it was just, everything was working together so well that when I was able to cut this, drill this, hold this, etc., I was going, dang, this is working particularly well. And now that I've got that, the reason I'm saying this is the background to it was that the higher fence, actually, can I just get it out? I'm just squatting down to get this. And you're me wondering why it's got the pink tape on it. Well, that goes in position there, locks off, and it's got a little grub screw on the back that holds it right. Yeah, it doesn't necessarily hold it perfectly square to the base. What? You're kidding me. I kid you not. When you put your square on this section here, this is perfectly square. But because the lower fence, this part, you put your square up against it, and this, they don't register perfectly together from the manufacturer. And there's no way to alter the pin and the hole, because that's what they registered together with. So where's the other one? So I can show you. So this one, I'll just make sure that is back down. You put that in there. There's actually a lip there, meaning the plate isn't square. I'll just lock it off, and that's why that has been put there, to try and make up for the out of squareness. It's only a small amount, and probably for most purposes that I'm using or demanding, wouldn't make too much of a difference, but it's there. This lowly bit of custom wood is dead square to this. So, yeah, why would I want not to use this? So I'm going to make up, long story, I'm going to make up a few more so that they can be sitting in the wings, in the drawer, so that when I go to use them, I can put them in place, and whether they are zero tolerance like this or used on an angle, I can use it, or when I use the mitre side, I can do that and cut them. They're sacrificial and they can be replaced easily. So why wouldn't I want to do that? Yeah, a bit of a puzzle about those. Why they really need a small camming type facility there to be able to turn them, to give them the fidelity. The engineering is just beautiful in it, but yeah, that's an odd one. Don't know why. Perhaps the engineers can tell me, but go figure. Anyway, there you go. Very happy with my top that we've got there, and the potential for this makes that a little bit more versatile or capable, less troublesome, you know, if things are tipping. Router table probably will get a bit of an MFT style of plate or top attachment, and I've got a little bit of an idea for here. I don't know whether it will work, so I won't go into it too much, but something more to develop there. So it's just these things that we think of as we're going through and looking at things. Rightio, that's it. Kept it fairly short, and yeah, when I come up with anything else, I'll get back to you and make a video, won't I? Rightio, that's it. I'll see you in the next one now. Bye.